Hello, a horse named Lucero. I grew up in the Yamazares household. I was there from ages 5 all the way up until 14. At first, it was a really small community. As a matter of fact, it was just a couple houses. But we watched it grow into a huge place. But at first, there was so much unsold land and places to be renovated, you could see horses and cows roaming around. Of course, they were owned by people, but it looked like you're living on a big farm. I developed a friendship with 3 kids my age, Leo, Tony, and Alfredito, who all had horses. I saw how much they enjoyed riding their horses after school, so I decided to start talking to my parents. I have no idea how to get one, but to my surprise, on a full day, in 1957, I got home and you know what was waiting there? A horse. It was beautiful. It had a camel coat, and in the middle of its face it had a white burst. It looked like a star. And I decided on the best name, Lucero. Of course I had to ask my dad, how much did you pay for Lucero? Nothing. What? How could that be? I asked. It turned out my father had made a deal with the horse dealer. He gave the horse dealer my old bicycle. He didn't tell me about giving away my bicycle, but since I was pretty young when I got it, it had outgrown me, so I was much happier with my horse. I must have been 9 or 10 at the time that I got this. But you know what? I got good. I was capable of making Lucero trot, gallop, and stand on its 2 back legs, like Silver, the Lone Ranger's beautiful white horse. When I was riding, I felt like I was on top of the world. I was like Lone Ranger, fighting crimes and riding with my horse. I rode Lucero Pelo, which means without a saddle, because we couldn't afford a saddle. My friend Leo, he had a much nicer horse than mine. It came from a much more prestigious breed. You could tell because it was smaller, but more muscular, and a lot quicker than Lucero. I dreamed of having a horse like that even, but eventually I decided I was going to resign myself to enjoy riding Lucero. But one place that I really truly, from the bottom of my heart, enjoyed doing was racing. Racing I did with all 3 of my friends. Since we lived on a more underdeveloped part of town, there was a road. It was unfinished. So me and my friends, whenever we were bored, decided we were going to line up our horses and we were going to race from start to finish. Usually we went pretty slow at the beginning, but as time moved on, we pick up the pace. Sadly, Leo would usually end up winning. It was like our own version of the Kentucky Derby. I began to notice, however, that Lucero disliked socializing with the other horses. Whenever any of the horses got too close to them, he'd perk his ears back and sometimes even kick them. Thus, I realized that it would occur during races as well. But I used that. Every time we started a race, I'd position myself right in the middle. Sure, at the beginning of the race, we fell a bit behind, but once we started picking up the pace, we started kicking them left and right. And much to the chagrin of the other 3 friends, Lucero and I ended up winning the races. Lucero was a good thing in my life, and the memories are still there.